Yeah, it sort of feels that way. I mean, it's like going into Vegas or going into a casino. You've been warned that the house always wins. And why would you buy into something that's called hawktuah? Alright, class, settle down and let me tell you a story. We've got United Healthcare CEOs getting early retirement via Pew Pew. We've got martial law in Korea. We've got rebels in Damascus. And now we have the hawktuah girl allegedly pulling off a crypto scam. It honestly feels like 2024 is trying to make up for the boring past few seasons, and it's now trying to end itself with a bang. You guys know the drill. Before we get to it, please like, share, subscribe, do the whole notification button thing to help me out with the algo. And here we go. Alright, class, before we begin, full disclosure, I know nothing about cryptocurrency. Dogecoin, Bitcoin, or whatever you may call it. Because it never really made sense to me that why would you trade real money for digital currency? Now, up until this point, I don't even know, or I'm not even sure which government regulatory commission is supposed to provide oversight for its trade and for its balances. Like, I feel like there's no protection for the consumer just in case something like this happens. But as to cryptocurrency, guys, I know nothing about it, and therefore I never dabbled with it. But if you feel like you know something, if you feel like you can share something about how it all works, please put it down in the comments. And why don't we go and see what the hawktuah girl has allegedly done?
Everybody loves memes and everybody loves crypto scams. So why don't we take the crypto scams and turn them into memes? Undeniable logic. Yes, that's precisely where the industry is at right now, and one of the biggest possible examples ever just happened in real time. Brace yourselves for a banger of a coffeezilla video on it soon, because the hawktuah girl, overnight famous after she said hawktuah during a random interview and the internet decided to just obsess over it, the hawktuah girl offered up her own crypto token, which went to a $500 million valuation almost instantly before cratering and basically losing everyone's money, except the inside.
So, was it some sort of an IPO? She offered the coin. Guys, like I said, I know nothing about cryptocurrency. I'm just basing it off to what I know with regards to the stock exchange. I mean, is this how it works? You basically offer the currency and people buy in, which therefore increases the value of the said currency. And then what she did, or what she and her team did, they simply cashed out, or they simply sold their majority shares or their shareholdings, and therefore it tanked the price. Is that how it happened? Can someone please put it down in the comments?
Insiders. They all kind of got rich. Actually, side note, she has the third most popular podcast in the entire United States, which I did not know before making this video. It's behind Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan. She's third, which is kind of insane when you think about it, but I didn't realize she was actually that popular. So this kind of all makes a little bit more sense in that context. Massive influencer, crypto token, rug pull scam, everybody loses money, right?
Rug pull scam, everybody loses money. Hold on, let me increase the volume. I don't know how it works. Hopefully, guys, feel free to share what you think.
When you put it in that lens, like, makes a lot more sense. But yeah, I realized that after scripting the video, so I added in postscript. Continuing. I'm not going to make this one overly complicated with the tokenomics or the blockchain analysis type stuff because that'll come later.
Thank God.
Somebody is definitely catching charges over all of this. We just don't know who it is.
So, based on what I know, on a very limited knowledge, they basically pulled the rug from everyone, which constitutes insider trading? Is that what happened? Since they basically control the market, they basically control the currency, or they control the product, they control the shares. And when they decided to sell, once everyone's bought in, it basically tanked the price. Is that what's going to happen? Is it like insider trading? Can someone put it down in the comments?
Yet, and there's going to be plenty of people picking through the ledgers and tracking down wallets in the coming days. However, since I just got done listening to a Twitter Spaces, which is a really stupid format for discussing anything, but it is what it is. Since I just got done listening to one of those like Twitter podcasts about everything, where the founders of the token desperately flail around trying to defend themselves, and because the absurdity of the entire situation is through the roof, I wanted to do a sort of tip of the spear take on how hawktuah just became one of the most
Hawktuah.
flagrant crypto scams in modern history. Here it is. Hawktuah, the token at least called Hawk, was apparently offered by a Cayman Islands legal foundation, which is supposedly how these things are done so that they can offer the tokens under a proper regulatory framework.
Oh.
Seems fine. Actually, to be completely honest, that sounds a whole lot more like evading the law as opposed to following it, but that's...
I mean, why was it based in the Cayman Islands? I doubt US regulatory commissions have oversight over these type of institutions outside its jurisdiction or outside its territory.
It's an opinion, just to be clear. Not sure what exactly the foundation's name is, there's a lot of them, but structuring the token in a way that isn't just point blank illegal here domestically in the United States seems like at least maybe an okay start. Not
So
that
there's
it
a gray
ultimately made
area.
difference, but whatever. According to pretty much every single media publication who covered this, and according to the apparent founders themselves, while they desperately tried to downplay things and make it seem like they didn't just rug pull the entire community for millions of dollars, a percentage of the entire token supply, they say
See, I don't understand what. This is why I never bought into cryptocurrency. I don't get it. Why would you trade real currency backed by regulatory commissions, backed by the government? That's why it's called legal tender. Why would you trade it for something like a token? Why? I mean, I'm pretty sure there are a ton of people out there making money off of it, but I don't understand it. But you know what? Let's keep
15%
going.
a few times, so we'll go with that, was offered to insiders through the use of SAFTs,
Insiders,
which stands
there
for
we go.
Simple Agreement for Future Tokens. But those insiders, who were given millions of dollars, many millions of dollars worth of these tokens well in advance, had no lockup period, as it's called, which basically means they could sell whenever they wanted to.
So no lockup period means they could sell whenever they wanted to. So the way I understand it, please correct me if I'm wrong, is that the more that people buy in, the value goes up, and since they control the majority of the shares or the majority of the tokens, the moment they sell, the prices would go down because there would be a ton of supply. Is that how it works?
Well, within minutes of the token launching, as everyday people were hyped up and buying in and driving the price higher and higher,
There we go, there we
basically
go.
her community thinking that they could get rich, those insiders began selling, pretty much all of them. And what resulted was a
So they began selling, and then therefore the supply went up, and therefore the price went down. There we
token that
go.
rose to a $500 million market cap in minutes, only to come crashing back down, wiping out untold millions in the process, and
There
earning
we go.
someone, we don't know precisely who at this point, someone earned millions of dollars in transaction fees as well. Another aspect of this is called sniping, which means bots that rapidly buy out token supply directly at launch, then contributing to the rug pull soon after, which absolutely happened here as well. Here's an example of a bot wallet that purchased roughly $1 million worth of the token within seconds and then proceeded to dump it all on the community soon after, on top of
There
the
we
insiders
go.
who were also selling, so double whammy. But the team behind this token claims to have tried to stop these snipers from having so much of an effect. Clearly, it didn't work.
Oh my
Snipers had
God.
a monumental impact alongside pre-sale investors, snapping up huge amounts of the token and overall exacerbating the disaster. But I did want to mention that this isn't just a standard rug pull. It's also an abject failure of design. So that's fun. It's pretty
Is he talking about oversight and abject failure of design? Because it felt like a scam to begin with. Millions of dollars worth of token was offered to founders. If that wait, are they founders? Yeah, to an initial group of people who was in on the whole thing because there was no lock-in period. They could cash out anytime.
pretty cut and dry if you think about it. Failed management, rug pull, classic scam in the end overall. However, it gets more interesting than that because according to Bubble Maps, which is a tool for visualizing crypto holdings, posted by the actual social media account for that tool, like the company that makes it, there was a graph put out showcasing that 97% of the entire token supply in total belonged to a single cluster of interconnected wallets.
Interconnected wallets. So there's a possibility that there's only one person controlling the whole thing.
Incidentally, the same cluster that was nonstop selling and cratering the price. And the primary wallets that were sniping, by the way, as well. You can see this one, the one that I gave as an example prior, which begins with HII ending with RNN, which is number 12 on the bubble maps graph in the cluster identified. That's pretty bad off rip. Making a token, offering millions in a pre-sale, having zero lockup, and then letting
Yeah, someone's gonna go to jail for this, or at least someone's gonna get sued for this because you've got the paper trail.
those investors or insiders rather dump everything on the community as soon as it goes live is bad by itself 100%. But what makes it all so much more hilarious and terrible, I know people just lost money, but forgive me if my
A
sympathy
lot of
isn't
people seem
that
like they
high for
lost
the
a lot
crypto
of money on
gambling
this.
addicts who lost their life savings on a meme coin called hawktuah. Okay, at a certain point you have to take responsibility for your
Yeah, it sort of feels that way. I mean, it's like going into Vegas or going into a casino. You've been warned that the house always wins. And why would you buy into something that's called hawktuah? I mean, we all know, we've heard of success stories, but then again, how many successes have we seen compared to those that have lost the whole thing?
your poor decisions. But the thing that really dials it up a notch is how haileywelch, the girl behind the meme, and her managers maybe, or the people
Her
who
team,
helped her
let's
launch
call
the
it her
token,
team.
or at least insiders who felt like they needed to explain themselves, went public on a Twitter Spaces trying to explain everything. It was a complete disaster, and I have to laugh a little bit when I think about the lawyers who will inevitably be involved in all this, listening back.
Well, there's a possibility that she's not in on it, that she's just a face. I mean, there are some conspiracy theories that have pointed out that she's an industry plant, that the entire world changed or her life changed the moment she said "Hak Tuah." And that was it. She's now a superstar, one of the most popular podcasters in the US. There's a probability that she's just a face, or she's simply the front man to whoever's pulling the strings. Either that, or she's an evil genius.
And just being completely floored by how stupid these people are. But primarily this guy right here, Doc Hollywood, and also this guy named Over Here, who apparently may be the person or entity who actually launched the damn thing, go on this yapping spree, like non-stop yapping, while saying basically nothing, and just digging themselves a grave over
Whoa.
how it's unfortunate that this happened, but it's all about community, guys. There's one part. I'm not kidding. Okay, I'm being entirely serious.
There's
here.
definitely a community of pissed off people. And we were just talking about United Healthcare. Holy crap. Some of these people might be in danger.
The Doc Hollywood guy literally says, "You should be kissing my ass because I'm trying to give tokens to people."
Wait.
He goes on to say, "I don't care about the price. It could go to zero for all I care. But I'm trying to get people interested in crypto. Maybe they go on to be interested in other meme coins after this."
Why?
I was in disbelief listening to these clowns. And it got even better because haileywelch decided to let coffeezilla on stage.
I mean, I know a lot of people, or at least some people, have made tons of money out of this kind of thing. But for us regular people, why would you trade it for something like this?
Stage to speak, and he immediately began grilling them about what happened, who made money, and why they made certain decisions. Well, they couldn't let that keep happening, obviously, so they muted him. They just didn't let him talk, or they tried to talk over him. Pretty sure they ended up kicking him out after that because he said, "I think I can explain what happened here," and they probably panicked when he said that. But pretty much every single person that they let speak just roasted them, ending with probably the best moment of the entire night, which was when some random guy started asking questions about the transaction fees or who profited, and haileywelch just pieces the fuck out. Bedtime.
So I'm sort of curious, like, not for the token price itself, but just in terms of the fact that there's fees that are being generated, there's an actual, like,
Hey
source
guys,
of income.
I hate to interrupt you, Nick. Hello there. But
Yeah.
anywho,
Oh.
I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
People are genuinely right now filing complaints with the SEC
Oh,
already.
she's scared.
This isn't just another
They should
oopsie
be.
crypto scam that gets lost in the crowd. This was a viral
Because it's gonna get worse for her. I mean, either she's behind it, or B, she's just a face, or she's just a front man and someone else is pulling the strings, and that would make it worse, which means that she was used, or her entire team was used.
internet personality. Again, I'm putting this in postscript. I didn't realize how popular she is. Third most most listened to podcast in the
And
entire
that's saying something.
country, right? That's absurd to me. But anyway, this was currently, not was, a viral internet personality with a token launch that capped out at 500 million with a B.
Just imagine like a Don King type trying to piggyback on the most popular boxer, the most popular champion at the present.
$1 billion in value. And people in her community, many, many thousands of them, lost pretty much everything they put in because of how the offering was structured. Now, CoffeeZilla made some accusations about insider trading directly linked to the creator's account, which I can't personally verify, but I do take his word at face value now. I think he has a well-earned reputation for calling it right on the basis of crypto scams. So if he says it, I just straight up believe him. I'll be honest about that. And if true, that is jail time. Whoever did it, whoever made money from it, they will face charges because the scale of this one is large enough to where regulators absolutely will come down
They
on them
have
and
to.
make
It's
an
500
example.
million.
The children on pump.fun, like literally children, 12, 13
What?
years old. I have a whole video about that disaster, which I'll link down below. That's a completely
Holy
different thing. But
crap.
the actual kids who are rug pulling like $30,000 or $50,000 on random meme coins with small market caps, they probably won't face any charges or accountability, unfortunately.
Because they're minors.
Because the sheer volume of criminal wrongdoing here is off the charts. And the SEC doesn't have the resources required to prosecute even a tiny fraction of it. But what they are doing is headhunting. They want to find people and make examples out of them.
hunting.
Icarus type situation. Fly too close to the
Yeah,
sun.
and well, if she's like the third most popular podcaster, she's gonna make for a very good example that you can't get away with this. But come on, why would you invest in something called hawktuah coin or token?
The resources required to prosecute even a tiny fraction of it. But what they are doing is headhunting. They want to find people and make examples out of them. Icarus type situation. Fly too close to the sun, get burned. And this right
Was
here
500
is
million.
way too close to the sun. Somebody is gonna get
Way
burned.
too big to ignore.
By the way, while making this video, I also shot a DM to CoffeeZilla because as I was listening to the space and hearing him ask valid, legitimate questions, and suddenly he disappeared, I wanted to ask if they had booted him right when he started to kind of like hold their feet to the fire. And the answer is yes. They muted and removed him as a speaker as soon as he started asking valid questions in the space. So they're just straight up trying to dodge accountability if I've ever seen it.
Well, they
and it's
have
gonna
to.
bite
They've
them
got
really
like
hard.
$500 million.
In my opinion, the person who's
missing.
ultimately going to get
Well, not
harmed by
missing.
this probably isn't, I don't know.
It went away.
I don't think it's going to be Haileywelch herself. She doesn't know nearly enough about any of this to pull
No,
off
she
a
doesn't.
con of this
She's a
magnitude.
face. He's a front
But
man.
the people she hired, or at least the people around her who did the actual offering, yeah, somebody's going to go down for it. She can go to bed if she wants to when the questions get too hot, but there's no running from the fact that millions of dollars got wiped out.
Yeah.
And the people who lost it aren't just going to up and forget what happened here. They're not moving on anytime soon from this.
No, they won't.
By the way, I'll happily link to the SEC investor complaint form down below this video as
Oh,
well.
crap.
I'm not sure how many
There
people
we go.
watching
Serious
actually
now.
have holdings of the hawktuah token that they can claim as damages. If you do, I'm very sorry for your recent lapse in critical thinking. But for anyone interested, lapsed critical thinking does not mean that you should have your money stolen from you, so have at it. Hilariously, I just keep finding things to add right now. There's a law firm called Berwick Law that's actively looking for people that lost money on the Hawk token. Like they're headhunting. So yeah, Berwick Law, they said this on Twitter. They want people to reach out to them if they lost money. Become a client, right? Like here's the form. So I guess I'll link that down below too. But people did take notice of this. Like it turned heads. There's going to be repercussions. Bottom line, hawktuah is yet another classic example of wealth redistribution, where the meager holdings of the many, the 99% if you will,
Oh my God,
get
this is so bad.
to the top 1% of the ecosystem, who all too often in the crypto industry at least, are willing to lie, cheat, and steal in the pursuit of personal wealth. Most people picture the term wealth redistribution as this awesome utopian concept where they get showered with capital from those undeserving rich people, but in reality, it's when the con men get everything because they lied to you, so that's a lot more indicative of the reality in crypto. Anyway, short video, spur of the moment. Stay tuned for the more comprehensive coverage that comes after, especially if I can narrow down who precisely is behind this Cayman Islands Foundation or the insider fundraising that happened
that might
early
take
on.
some
But
time.
either way, there's a lot of people looking into
There's a lot of popular people, or there's a lot of heavy people looking into this.
it now, and it's only a matter of time before everything comes out. Again, somebody will go down for this one. Mark my words.
Question
It's
is
a prediction, official prediction. I'll circle back to it eventually when it happens. That's it. If you want to support the channel, check out the links down below. A special VPN deal, locals and Patreon, channel memberships, merchandise, etc., etc. But I'll cut it there and stop rambling. As always, thank you all for watching. Question everything, and have a nice night.
Bye! Thank you for watching, guys. Now you all know the drill. Please like, share, subscribe, and do the whole notification button thing. It would really help me out with the algo. Now, if you want me to check out other stories, please let me know in the comments. We upload on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard, and we go live on Twitch every Friday and Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard. Links of the original videos are down in the description. Please check them out, and class dismissed.